Now, from your local news leader, KAMR Local 4 News, Saturday Today starts now.
And good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up to Saturday Today on this beautiful morning.
Yes, it's August 24th, and we are joined by our friend, Jackie Kingston.
Hello,
Thanks
good
for
morning.
being here.
Good morning, I'm glad to be here. Good morning, everyone.
So, you know, this has been a newsroom debate that we've all been talking about, and it's a thing that was released by Energy Star, and it's causing quite a stir on the internet. Energy Star released that your thermostat, what temperature it should be set at when you sleep.
Yes, so we're not going to tell you that number just yet, but let's just say some people are not in complete agreement over it.
We are not in complete agreement over it.
Not at all.
More on that in just a moment. But first, we do want to get a check of this morning's headlines with KAMR Local 4's Maggie Glenn.
Thanks, guys. Good morning, everyone. It's always better to be safe than sorry. That's the mindset of Canyon students and staff.
Lockout, secure the perimeter. Lockout, secure the perimeter.
Yesterday, schools across Canyon ISD conducted different drills as part of their annual safety day. The drills practiced are used to prepare both students and staff for different emergency situations. We went to Arden Road yesterday to get a closer look at those drills.
Parents bring us their kids, and we don't take that job lightly to keep them safe. We take it very seriously, and so we want to be prepared for every single scenario that could come our way.
All week, the teachers and staff taught educational safety programs to prepare for the day. Students from West Texas A&M University will be giving back to a local nonprofit that's part of our Heart of the High Plains. Today, students will pack and donate 50,000 meals for the High Plains Food Bank to help people and children who face food insecurity. If you'd like to participate, it'll start around noon in the JBK Student Center over at WT. We are sad to announce that our co-worker and friend Angelina Perez will not be returning to KAMR Local 4 News. As you guys know, our longtime Today in Amarillo anchor, Angelina and her husband welcomed a baby girl into their family back in May. In that, she has decided to take her talents and focus them in on being a parent.
I do want to say thank you all, though. Thank you for the viewership, for all of you amazing fans and loyal viewers who have tuned into Today in Amarillo for the last 5 years to wake up super early with me. I've been lucky enough to tell you guys some of the craziest stories, you know, tragic events to happy times, cooking in the kitchen with Chef Bud, to solving some cold cases here locally.
To see her full goodbye, we have it on our website, myhighplains.com. That does it for news. It's time to get a check on your weekend forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Harris. Hey, John.
And hello, Maggie. Well, today is going to be a hotter day than yesterday, and we may be tracking a couple thunderstorms this evening. Now, this is our day planner forecast at 8 a.m. this morning, really up through about 10 a.m. Temperatures will be in the 60s and low 70s, rather humid at noon, kind of a sultry 85. And by 5 o'clock, we will be tracking a few thunderstorms, mainly to the south and east of Amarillo, and 95 degrees. Other temperatures tomorrow for our friends, make that today. For our friends down at Childress, 97 degrees, over at Canadian, 92. Maybe a thunderstorm up at Clayton, a high of 92 degrees. And then tomorrow for Sunday, we're talking blistering hot weather, a record tie possible in Amarillo, 102. Dalhart, a high of 100. Over Hereford, 102. Tucumcari, the same. Less hot weather up at Canadian, 96, and for our friends in Guyman, 95. So in a nutshell, tomorrow, Sunday, is going to be blistering hot. Monday will be hot. How about a record tie of 100, followed by less heat on Tuesday, a more palatable, if you will, 85, scattered thunder showers. Wednesday will be nice, highs only in the upper 70s and low 80s, a chance for rain 83, and then back to average heat on Thursday and back to reality on Friday. Back into the 90s we go, with a chance for a few thunderstorms across the area. Of course, if we have any severe weather this weekend, Brittany Trumpy will keep an eye on it for you again tomorrow. A record tie of 102 degrees in Amarillo. Have a great weekend, everyone. Let's send it back over to Judd and Amberly.
All right, y'all. So some exciting news this morning. Amarillo now has a Build-A-Bear. It is in the Walmart over on South Coulter in one of those leased spaces. They're open from 10 in the morning till 8 at night. What do y'all think about that? That's pretty crazy.
I love a Build-A-Bear.
I've never built a bear.
No?
You
No.
haven't?
I have not.
I don't know that I have either, but I always enjoyed, I remember as a kid walking in and, you know, you're just in awe of all the options that you had.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, if I could do this. And there are those like parties and stuff that they offer. Super fun. That would be great.
I've never been in a Build-A-Bear.
What?
You need to go.
There's also a little bit of weirdness because it's like pieces of bears.
Yeah.
That you've got to like, you know, so there's a little like, it's a little macabre, but
You're playing doctor. You're playing doctor.
You are, sure, yeah, playing doctor. That's a good way to put it.
But I think it's interesting that it's in a Walmart, you know, because usually they were like in malls and like this big thing, but now I feel like it's more accessible to everyone.
For sure, yeah. Getting your groceries and then your kids are going to be
just
like, can we go to the toy aisle? Just kidding. Can we go to Build-A-Bear?
It might be a tad annoying, I guess, for parents. I don't know.
I may have to go check it out.
Yeah,
We'll go together. It's okay.
We'll go. So some stunning new video this morning shows just how much the wreck of the Titanic has deteriorated in the past 14 years since it was last photographed. NBC's Kelly Cobier reports from London.
More than 12,000 feet down in bitterly cold water at the bottom of the Atlantic, a shocking sight. The legendary Titanic is crumbling. Salt water, strong currents, and metal-eating bacteria taking a devastating toll.
It is a big wreck. I wasn't fully ready for just how large it was.
This is how the bow looked 14 years ago, and this is the bow today. Those icicle shapes are bacteria eating the metal. That famous bathtub in the captain's quarters has now disappeared, hidden, the team says, under a collapsing deck. The expedition, led by renowned explorer Victor Vescovo, dove down in a specially designed submersible made by a Florida company, which took 3 years to build. 5 dives over 8 days earlier this month.
And the most amazing moment came when I was going along the side of the Titanic and the bright lights of the submersible, the first time when they reflected off of a portal and came right back. It was like the ship was winking at me.
The wreck of the Titanic lies deep down, 12,500 feet underwater. Scientists say it's now covered in bacteria, threatening to turn the ship's 50,000 tons of iron into powder, the Titanic dissolving into the sea. These images will allow them to create 3D models to preserve the wreck in virtual reality. They'll also help scientists determine just how much longer this wreck will be around. Some estimates say the Titanic could disappear completely by 2030. Kelly Cobier, NBC News, London.
Even more sad news for just a great ship that already had sad news with it in the
We
first
know that
place.
you were going to put in Titanic story.
I do.
in
I'm
this.
just very obsessed with it.
He is. All right, some other stories that are trending this morning. We talked about this earlier. Air conditioning tips from the federal government dividing the internet. Yes. Energy Star recommending keeping your thermostat at 78 degrees in the summer. The energy saving program also says you should crank it up to 85 when you're not home. So 78, 85, and then when you're asleep, they want you to put it at 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Many people have expressed passionate opinions on this topic. Some say those temps are ridiculously hot. Others claim to find them perfectly comfortable, like me. Energy Star recommends using a programmable thermostat to implement those settings it says are the best. All right, discuss. I'm perfectly fine with this.
I mean,
No, hard no.
You know, they say if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Well, I never listened to what my mother told me, because in high school, let me just say this, they always kept it very cold, and the teacher's excuse was, cold helps you stay awake, and if it's warm, you're more likely to go to sleep in class. And I argue that because it has to be like the Arctic in my room before I go to sleep. I can't do it.
Amberly, what do you like?
I mean, my home is pretty warm.
Yeah.
It stays about 76, 77 at all times. Like Judd like has been in before and been like, what's wrong?
It's like
is
walking
your air
into an oven.
conditioning
I always
broken?
ask, is your air conditioner broken? But you like these temperatures.
I do. Well, I think I'm perfectly fine with them, and it does really help on your energy bill. I've noticed, you know, there have been some summers where I've been like, you know what, I'm just going to pay it. But I have not gotten to that point this summer with the temperatures John was talking about earlier this week. Maybe I'm in for a reprieve, right? Maybe I'll be fine. It'll be cooler in my house. I won't even have to spend the money on air conditioning.
And I have good ceiling fans, so I feel like it's not like I'm fine.
That matters too. If you have the movement, the air movement, that matters.
It matters for sure. So moving on to country music's biggest night. It's also going to be a ladies' night this year. So the Country Music Association announced on Monday that Carrie Underwood will host the 53rd annual CMA Awards. Now, she's hosted since 2008, but as you recall, Brad Paisley is usually her partner, but this time around, Reba McEntire and Dolly Parton will join her on stage. The two Country Music Hall of Famers have been added as guest hosts for the big event. The CMA says Reba and Dolly will help celebrate the legacy of women within country country music throughout the ceremony. The show will take place at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville on November 13th. So I think this is a good move. I have to say, I think women are paving the way in country music. We have Casey Musgraves, Maren Morris. You know, it's just a big time for them. So I'm excited.
I do too. I think this is great. And I think including Reba and Dolly in it, they are country music royalty. They have been the ones. They were the bellwethers. They were the trendsetters. They still are in so many ways. I think they're going to be fantastic at it. Carrie Underwood, who I love, I'm glad that she's still doing it. I think she's amazing. I love watching her performances. I love watching her host. I think they're great. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I think they couldn't have picked a better trio.
Yeah,
and especially with Reba and, you know, Dolly, like you said, paving the way in country music. They're just, I love me some Reba.
She's great.
TV show too.
And Reba hosted the ACMs, and I went to the ACMs this year. So I think it's going to be fun to see her bring kind of the ACMs into the CMAs.
Oh, yeah.
You know? I don't know.
For sure. No, that'll be great.
I love it. So most people are a little skeptical about the idea of a real-life haunted house. But a paranormal investigator from the town of Mexico, Maine, believes that he and his wife have moved into one.
So it's a Rhode Island farmhouse where inexplicable events in the early 1970s became the basis for a horror film called The Conjuring. I have not seen this. I am not a horror film buff. I don't like them. Judd has seen it.
I have seen it.
So these are familiar to him and the thousands, millions of people who have seen this show.
So Samantha Sugarman has more.
It's a huge piece of American history, and it's also a piece of paranormal history.
On the outside, it looks like any other cabin in the woods. It's what you can't see on the inside that makes this house different from any other house in the country. But Corey and Jennifer Heinzen just call it home.
We fell in love with it.
The Mexico couple became owners of the 8-acre farmhouse just last month. Corey has been living here full-time, but almost never alone. This grown man isn't afraid to admit he's scared because his new house is haunted. The 2013 horror film The Conjuring is based on paranormal events that reportedly took place inside this home in 1973.
We are convinced that this house is subject to paranormal activity.
Carl Johnson was part of the team that came into the home to investigate more than 45 years ago.
Why is this house haunted? What kind of personality, if any, does this haunter have? Is it a ghost? Is it demonic, inhuman? You know, what is doing it? Is it just a playback from the past?
Footsteps, knocks. We've had lights flashing in rooms. And when I say lights flashing in rooms, it's rooms that don't have light in there to begin with.
12 cameras just like these are recording video inside 24/7. Our cameras not allowed inside the main house while that shooting for a documentary and other projects goes on.
Sometimes we catch it on camera, and sometimes we don't.
Corey calls it research.
Being a paranormal investigator and buying a famous haunted house.
If I wanted to, I could have a seance, you know, and try to like conjure something up.
They'll hold off for the time, though. These paranormal investigators feel there is enough bizarre behavior they can't fully explain already happening inside this house.
They live there?
No, yeah, I think so, but I'm saying no to
Yeah, I'm out on that one. How do you resell that house? You would have to sell it to somebody else who was interested in the paranormal and do that. Yeah, right. You'd have to have somebody else who was interested in the paranormal and how all that stuff shakes out.
I feel like a lot of people are interested in that, though.
Mm-hmm. You think you would watch the documentary?
No.
I'm going to make her watch the documentary.
I would be more into that than the dramatized version of like a movie.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the movie is going to play it up, but a documentary might be very like straightforward. Here's what we found. Here's what, you know, not like something shocking. Like, you know, and maybe there will be scares in it, but.
And they embellish a lot. It's like the Annabelle movies. That doll isn't that creepy. It's just like a regular rag doll.
All of this
Still creepy.
Yeah. So that family plans to eventually open up their home to the public so others can experience the Conjuring house for themselves.
That's
Hard
great.
pass.
Hard pass for me too.
Okay, moving on to something a little bit more happy. The battle of the chicken sandwiches hit social media on Monday. Y'all, you know I love chicken. So the Twitter feud started with Chick-fil-A tweeting its sandwich as the original, which it is called. Popeyes quickly replied by tweeting the question, "Y'all good?" The fried chicken fast food chain released its first chicken sandwich nationwide a week ago. The mocking tone of its tweet garnered a lot of attention. Twitter users joined in, sharing which restaurant they believe had the best chicken sandwich.
Now, Judd, you are the only one out of us, the three of us, who has tried both. And your verdict is what?
I love them both. Very diplomatic answer.
But not equally.
But not equally. The Popeyes one to me is more flavorful. It has, because you can get, well, I guess you can get spicy and regular at Chick-fil-A as well, but I just really love some Cajun spice. And to me, that's what sets it apart. Now, granted, I had this months ago, like at least a month and a half ago, so this isn't, I thought it was something new, unless it is something new and I just don't know what I'm talking about, which could be very true. But I did, so when all this hubbub came out on the internet, I was like, what is this all about? It's been around, but apparently I guess it just launched nationwide.
The difference that I've seen a lot of people tweet about and talk about is that the pickles are different, right? The pickles on the Popeye sandwich are larger and like thicker than a Chick-fil-A sandwich. You bite into a pickle and you're like, oh, hey, a pickle. But this one, you kind of can't avoid them. They're on there. And I like pickles, so I'd be into that, I think.
I need to have cheese on it, I gotta be honest. And
Cheese?
I don't eat a chicken sandwich without cheese.
Interesting. What kind of cheese are you into?
Whatever.
Whatever?
It just has to have
Whatever
some cheese.
floats your boat.
Whatever's handy?
Yep.
All right, some more good news this week. Hoda Kotb making an incredibly exciting announcement on Instagram this week. Take a listen to that.
Hi guys, guess what? It's time to get my roots done. I'm coming back to work. I'm gonna be there on September the 3rd, right after Labor Day. You guys, I'm so excited. Look, I'm not gonna lie, this probably has been the best summer of my entire life with these two kids. I've loved every second of it, but you know what else I'm gonna love? Coming back to you guys. So I am getting ready. I'm setting my alarm, 3:15 a.m. Okay, we'll be back in business, all right? I love you guys. I cannot wait to see you. Mwah.
Hoda is glowing.
I know.
Wonderful. I love her so
happy.
much. She announced she would return to Studio 1A from her maternity leave. That is coming up. Put it on your calendar, September 3rd. We are so excited. Hoda Woman is back.
I know. I love that she's like, I'll get my roots done. Like,
3:15 a.m. You did the morning show for a while.
I did.
It's a fun routine.
That's about right. It's early. It's early no matter how you slice it. And I don't know if there's any getting used to that. Honestly, the people who do it now, Jason and those guys, oh man, it is an early.
When I fill in, I'm like,
early morning. Every time. Early every time. Hey, don't forget that you can get more of today's news and weather over on our website. That, of course, is myhighplains.com.
Plus, of course, check us out. Alexa, Twitter, Instagram, we're everywhere.
We're everywhere you are.
Yep.
Sounds kind of creepy, but it's a good thing.
We are.
Well, hey guys, thanks for waking up and tuning in this Saturday morning right here on myhighplains.com. It was fun.
It was great. Fun. Love being with you guys. I love being with you here on a Saturday morning.
All right, we'll see y'all next week on Saturday Today.
Bye, guys.